Terry Connor, the number 10, formerly with Leeds United, and Jerry Ryan there alongside him. Chris Cattlin, the Brighton manager, saying, I've got to pick my strongest physically and mentally, the strongest side I can. Full start. Presumably a Liverpool player in the centre circle before the ball was actually kicked off. Or maybe the ball wasn't played forward. It just about was then. So remember then, Brighton attacking the goal to our left, and Sammy Lee quickly in. But here's Danny Wilson now. And what a good ball towards young Steve Penney. And stopped by Alan Kennedy. And a throw and a lovely ball that was from Danny Wilson. Bought from Nottingham Forest. Number 11 is Penney. Ryan turning it back. The ball crossed in here. Souness battling to get that. Smillie there. Now Grealish. Tough, competitive little midfield player. And Neal back for the first touch for Bruce Grobbelaar. Souness for Neal. On for Robinson. Quickly challenged by Steve Gatting. And Gatting again. One of Brighton's good players in their cup final team at Wembley. Steve Gatting, the number 3. And a very familiar face in the Brighton goal, Joe Corrigan, 35 last November, 18 seasons in pro football, and so many of them with Manchester City. Lee with the throw, Rush, and a throw to Brighton. Gatting with it, Wilson. And Rush hustling back, another Brighton throw. Mentioned earlier Liverpool's customary good run, but Brighton have put quite a good little run together. Lost only one of their last 7. They beat Swansea in the last round, while Liverpool were beating Newcastle. Smillie, and with home advantage, who knows? They're lying 10th in the 2nd division at the moment. Brighton. Souness. Robinson ducking in there. It's Eric Young getting it away very coolly. Grealish wide for young Stephen Penney, with Hutchings going outside him. Grealish and Young. Brighton manager on the left there, Chris Cattlin. Sammy Nelson, the former Northern Ireland and Arsenal fullback, who's his right-hand man. And now Johnston to Lee. Robinson playing it again for Rush. Came off Gatting, back again for Rush. Souness. Neal. A deep one, it should be Corrigan's. Ron Atkinson, any early thoughts?
Yes, there's a big responsibility on the boy the boy Young, who's obviously been detailed to mark Rush. He's got, apparently he's got great pace, and he's going to need that against the English.
Well, here's Smillie, who's also got pace for Brighton. Ryan was flattened, Penney comes in. Oh, and Grobbelaar just got there first. There wasn't much to spare. Boy from Ballymena, Stephen Penney. Hansen. Lee. Johnston, good break. Robinson well with him, or rather Foster well with him. Oh, what a good ball. Straight to Penney. Ryan turned his man well, but I think Kennedy showed a good bit of pace there and very nearly played it in for Terry Connor, but Phil Neal is there. Oh, and a slip and a shot by Grealish, and a goal kick. A greasy surface, it might cause one or two mistakes and make it difficult for defenders to turn quickly. It was a lovely turn by Ryan, and Grealish's final shot, of course, was well off the target.
Brian, looking at the Brighton lineup, the front four, that's the two white people, Smillie and Penney, and plus the two strikers, Connor and Ryan, are all very, very lively players. And I think the manager probably gambled on their pace and enthusiasm and liveliness, upsetting the Liverpool back four.
I think he felt that Lawrenson and Hansen could be unsettled by a little bit of pace, Ron, yes. But here's Souness battling away, and you'll notice that Grealish is there with him. And that will be quite a midfield battle. Chris Hutchings. Ryan really looks to be in the mood, and he's set Penney on his way, and he's onside. A ball played in, and Neal not taking any chances. Neal. Smillie. Lawrenson. It's a good ball to Kennedy. Foster. Had a little bit of Achilles tendon trouble, Steve Foster. Hutchings. Neal. Grealish. Rush was at him. Connor. Johnston. Now Smillie. Both claiming it was their ball, the linesman deciding it was Brighton's. Again a slip by Grealish. And the strength of Johnston, I thought, was going to get it back, but Grealish had something to say, and it's Connor. He's onside, played onside by Kennedy. A deflection, and Grealish is in there. And the corner given, and for a moment, Liverpool looked to be wavering. And the Brighton fans getting really behind their team now. Penney with the corner. Big Eric Young is up, and Steve Foster too. Big two central defenders are there. Foster tried to get the header in, but he was well beaten. I think it was Hansen's header, but here's Penney again. Oh, Foster with the shot, saved by Grobbelaar. A nice cross in, and taken very quickly there by Steve Foster. Brighton are certainly carrying the battle to Liverpool, but a free kick now to the visitors. Kennedy. Foster. Terry Connor, little touch for Grealish. On again, Ryan, but Grobbelaar is there. On the Liverpool bench, they'll certainly remember that there's a bit of a jinx on them so far as Brighton are concerned. They came here last season and Brighton got a 2-2 against Liverpool. Both the Liverpool goals on that occasion scored by, guess who? Ian Rush. Smillie now. Rush. Johnston. Souness. Neal. Souness. Played for Johnston again, no foul. Good, oh yes, there was a foul. By Foster, and a free kick. And maybe a problem. So into the wall of 4 or 5 Brighton players, 5 in all. Lee and Souness behind it. Corrigan wanting it lined up efficiently. Tense moment this for the home side. Woolvertide their chances if they allow Liverpool to get their noses in front. Kennedy, left foot shot, and Rush almost getting in on something there, but safely gathered in the end by Joe Corrigan. First drive there by Alan Kennedy. Nicol, Foster, Penney, little touch there for Hutchings. Penney again. Ooh, nice little touch again, but a throw to Liverpool. Neal. Robinson coming quickly for that, beating Foster in the air, finding Rush, offside. Gatting with it. Connor jumping well. Comes to Neal Smillie. Well, not quite sure what that was meant to be, but it's certainly a goal kick for Liverpool.
I would think Brighton could feel well sort of encouraged by the start they've made. They haven't really allowed Liverpool to settle too much into the familiar pattern, and when they've had the chance to push forward, they've pushed forward.
Again a free kick. It's time for Brighton. Foster. Connor's off in pursuit. Lawrenson well in control. Neal to Souness. Rush. Phil Neal. Robinson. Eric Young with him. Big number 6. Used to be with Slough Town, spotted there by the former Charlton manager Mike Bailey, and brought to the Goldstone. Neal. There's a slight misunderstanding there. I think they half expected Corrigan to come, and there were two defenders there not able quite to make up their mind. In the end, Chris Hutchings giving away the corner, and it's already taken. Lee now hitting it at Danny Wilson, and another Liverpool corner. Coming up to 14 minutes gone. If you've just joined us, no score in this FA Cup tie. Brighton 0, Liverpool 0. Sammy Lee again with the corner. Oh, and marking Phil Neal there, driven well low across the goal, and a complete air shot, a difficult one certainly, by Ian Rush. So away come Brighton. Connor with a good run. Now Wilson. And the back four have pushed up to such an extent that they caught Jerry Ryan offside no more than 10 yards inside the Liverpool half. Ron?
Yes, it looks very much as if Liverpool are going to play that familiar back four, pushing up high. Brighton look as if they've been doing a fair amount of work on midfield players breaking through. I've noticed once or twice when players developing that Grealish has tried to get in through the middle.
And I think we shall see them, as you've said, I think earlier, Ron, from the outside as well, Penney and Smillie. It's Hansen with the free kick. Eric Young. Gatting getting there first, but it's a throw to Liverpool. Souness. Grealish there with him, his marker. Oof. Clobbered a photographer. And a free kick. Well, I wonder whether he got a picture or not. Looks like he got a thick ear anyway.
I should think that photographer knows how most midfield players in the First Division film.
Penney. No problem there. Hutchings getting it back. Neal. That's what you call an up and under. Foster and Robinson jostling for that one, and now Craig Johnston. A Nicol. Oh, good save! A fiercely hit drive there by Steve Nicol. He caught it perfectly, and I thought for a moment it was going to get past Corrigan, but he stretched that 6'5" frame and gathered it well.
And look who's in at him. Rush about a yard away from him, Brian.
Well, Nicol, who had the shot, now with the throw. Johnston breaking, Foster getting in well. Grealish for Brighton. Smillie. Lee's after him. Smillie lost his way a little bit. Who's this going to come for? Souness. Hutchings away where it's safe. So Steve Nicol, yes, Lawrenson again. Steve Nicol is having a tremendous season for Liverpool, but it's going to be Craig Johnston with the throw this time. Maybe a slightly longer one. No, a short one. Wilson. But another Liverpool. No, it must have just clipped off the Liverpool player. And it'll be a Brighton throw. Kennedy. And a goal kick. Talking about Robinson and Foster being inseparable. In fact, Mike Robinson gets married in June. His best man on that day, that's the man, Steve Foster. Robinson. Rush. Robinson to Johnston. And an offside.
Steve Foster's got a big responsibility today, Brian. He's got to look after the young lad alongside him. He's got to mark two of the best strikers in the first division, and we understand he's had his problems with the club this week. But certainly his attitude on this moment in time doesn't seem to be in question.
That'll fall for Smillie, but that won't fall for anybody else in a blue shirt. Lee finding Neal. Find some way of unsettling this Liverpool side. They're getting into their groove, and that could look a little off-putting for Brighton. But here's Jerry Ryan. Eric Young again. He might be difficult to shake off that ball, I would have thought, as he finds Grealish. And there's a good ball, seeking out Steve Penney, and he's kept it in. Oh, and he's turned his man well. That's for Smillie. Good work there by Penney. Connor's in there. Can he get his shot in? No. And then he and Penney misread it. And Liverpool can bring it away with Alan Kennedy. But a really good run there by young Steve Penney. Foster. Now Gatting for Brighton. 20 minutes gone, 0-0 in this FA Cup fourth round tie. Smillie to Gatting. And now Grealish. Wilson. Hutchings. Connor trying to get in. The fall for Grealish. Oh, and he's let it spin away from him, and of all people, Rush picks it up. And now Souness surging forward. That looks dangerous now for Brighton, with Robinson one side and Rush the other. Gatting holding him up, but he does well to find Lee. Ooh, might still come for Nicol. And then Young got his long legs in the way, finds Danny Wilson in turn to young Steve Penney, but that wasn't a very good ball, and it'll be a throw for Liverpool.
Brian, the pitch is cutting up a little bit in the middle of the park now, and it's making control a little bit more difficult than at the start of the game.
Souness, Kennedy. Oh, a little touch by Johnston. It was a good one, finding Steve Nicol. Hutchings getting across to intercept, but that's a corner. A corner to Liverpool. Johnston towards Rush, beaten in the air by Young. Wilson to Connor, intercepted by Phil Neal, and now Kennedy, stopped by Wilson. Johnston. The long-range drive, perhaps? No. Stopped by Wilson again, but nobody up to take advantage of it for Brighton. That's another corner. Instantly, Jerry Ryan and Terry Connor come back for Brighton. Vincent's at the near post. Smillie's got to get back 10 yards. Lee hits it. Well, of all things, Graham Souness had his back turned, and it fell nicely for Danny Wilson. I can't think what he was trying to do there. Well, it's not often you catch Liverpool as unaware as that, Ron.
No, I think he heard the whistle blow as the referee was trying to get the fella 10 yards off the ball, and I think Souness automatically thought there'd been a stoppage.
Hutchings, back for Foster. And, Joe Fagan in the centre of your picture, the Liverpool manager. Incredible, it's 10 years since Liverpool last won the Cup. And Bob Paisley, it eluded Bob, and Joe will hope that he can do it for Liverpool this year. Now Neal. Played in for Rush, a little turn, and a good challenge by Eric Young. Ryan, play on to the referee, a good advantage. Smillie trying to get Jerry Ryan on his way. Connor's in the middle. Smiley's made a good run through the middle also. He gets it across. Oh, my goodness, I thought for a moment there was going to be a Brighton man there. In the end, it was put behind by Hansen. And Brighton, after an exciting attack, get a corner.
Full marks to Jerry Ryan there. He had the courage to take Lawrenson on and produce a magic ball into the box.
There's Ryan with the moustache. Craig Johnston at the post as well. A swift and impressive break there by Brighton. They've got themselves a corner. Eric Young coming in from deep. Foster's up again. And Foster didn't quite get his head to it. Turned back once more by Penney and over the top. Interesting young lad, Steve Penney from Ballymena. Bob Dennison, who's a very good spotter of players, went across to look at another player, and this young fella came on only for the last 10 minutes of the game, and he saw enough in 10 minutes to tell Chris Cattlin, you better get hold of that fella. And here he is, and he got the header in there. Young, Danny Wilson. Hansen. Headed away there again by Young. Gatting. That quick break would have done Brighton's spirit a bit of good, I fancy. Jerry Ryan getting an in off Ian Rush for a Brighton throw. Well, the man at the moment there, he's just can't stop scoring. 5 in the last 2. A hat-trick against Villa, 2 against Sheffield Wednesday. 29 in all this season. So we're just over 25 minutes gone. If you've just joined us, Brighton 0, Liverpool 0. I suppose territorially Liverpool have had the better of it, but Brighton too have had their moments. Steve Gatting. And again, little touch for Grealish. Back, little turn Eric Young, but Souness. In goes Grealish first. Off goes Connor, chasing Hansen, but Hansen gets it back skillfully to Bruce Grobbelaar. Craig Johnston. No foul. Comes to Smillie. Crashed with Souness, but Smillie got it away, but only as far as Lawrenson. And the former Brighton man doing well. And Robinson not quite getting the shot in he wanted, and it was Steve Foster who got it away to Danny Wilson. And now Penney on the ball again for Brighton. And he held off. Oh, my word, he did well, the 19-year-old Irish lad. He got the better of Craig Johnston there. Here's Jerry Ryan. Stopped by Hansen. Now Rush. Robinson up at the far side. Rush going it on his own. A lovely ball there for Robinson. Will Corrigan get there first? Yes.
Foster's just giving the young lad a bit of stick for giving Rush so much time to turn. I think that's very important. You can't let this fella have an inch.
And Steve Gatting's having his word as well. Jump there, a good header on by Ryan, but Connor can't get in, but they get a corner off Alan Kennedy. Good crowd here enjoying some good competitive cup tie football in a really sunny conditions. So Grealish with the corner. For Brighton, Foster and Young are there again. Bryan and Connor are there. Foster's header. Jerry Ryan trying to get there, and Grobbelaar missed his punch, and Brighton get another corner. He's big and very difficult to shake off a ball, Foster, when he's jumping from these sort of set pieces, and with Young as an ally, it's a constant threat to Liverpool. At the moment, there's a problem for Steve Nicol. It's only the second time that Liverpool have been here for an FA Cup game. The first one was away back in 1907-8. Liverpool 3, Brighton 0. And Ronnie Whelan warming up just as a precaution in case Steve Nicol can't go on. He's had a really outstanding season, Ron, hasn't he, Steve Nicol, for them?
Yeah, he seems to have given them a little bit of a new dimension. I think at one time they had a bit of a problem on the left-hand side following Whelan's injury, but he's certainly coming in a very effective job for them.
Grealish with the corner, and Wilson! Not one of his better efforts.
I think Liverpool would have been sick if they'd have scored there. That's one of their ploys. That's one of the tactics they use to try and bring Souness in on their own corners.
Well, Danny Wilson, it's only his 11th game for Brighton since he came from Nottingham Forest. He scored 6 times. Formerly with Chesterfield before that, and with Bury. Here's Grobbelaar. Good jump by Eric Young. Get up really well. Connor trying to do likewise, but beaten by Lawrenson. Lee. For a moment it looked as though he might be running into trouble. Brighton get the throw. Smillie with it. No, leaving it for Steve Gatting. Half an hour gone, no score. Wilson. And a long, long ball again for Penney. Played in a good firm ball there to Connor. Can't quite get going though, Connor. And here's Nicol. Stopped well by Grealish. Played in again towards Jerry Ryan, and Phil Neal forced to put it behind for another Brighton corner. And Souness is down, injured at the moment. And the referee rushed across to him, as though there's a problem there, but he's a tough fella. And Ronnie Moran quickly out to give him some treatment.
There's no question about it. When Brighton do push men forward, they have Liverpool in some sort of trouble virtually every time they attack them. I'd just like to see Smillie push on a little bit more and try and attack Philip Neal more.
Well, here's Smillie. He's a talented fellow with a lot of pace. Used to be with Crystal Palace.
Yeah, in last year's cup final against us, particularly in the first one, he played on the right-hand side and he caused us a lot of problems. Whether he's been moved out there to compensate for the new lad on the right wing, Penney. But I would feel that if he could push on, he's got a bit of a problem, as I say, at the moment. He's half-marking Smillie, but I would feel his strength is going at the right fullback.
Well, Souness, the formidable man from midfield, is okay. And Grealish will take the corner for Brighton. And it went past from Terry Connor. And it's a goal kick. 12 goals this season, and scored in each of the last 3 years, Terry. Still only 21 years old. Gatting. Neal. Another Brighton throw, Ron, yes?
You were just talking about Terry Connor, Brian, and I remember he made his debut against us at West Bromwich. And I rather had high hopes that he would be a very, very good player. Hasn't quite fulfilled his promise.
Ryan. Oh, a nice little touch there for Smillie, but Lawrenson was across. 174 games for Albion, Mark Lawrenson. Grealish, Neal. Here's Foster. Not quite what he meant, but it nonetheless found Grealish. I think Souness is in a lot of trouble and may have to go off. He didn't go for Grealish when Grealish was just about to play the ball through, and he waved to the bench as though he was saying, I think I may have to come off. A throw to Brighton. And in fact, Ronnie Whelan, I think, is beginning to strip off in that Liverpool bench. Connor with the backward header. Hansen away. Foster caught a little bit off balance. Hutchings. Hansen. And Ryan, it looked to me as though Ryan forced an error out of the Liverpool defender. It looked, if anything, it had to be a Brighton throw, but there's the sign that Souness is coming off. Now that's a blow for them, Ron.
Yes, I just wonder how they'll reform, whether they'll put Smillie into the central midfield position and bring Whelan wide on this side.
So Ronnie Whelan is on. Yet another Irishman on a field that seems to be filled with Irishmen north and south of the border today. But irrespective of how they reform, Ron, to lose the influence of Souness, I mean, that could really be quite a considerable blow for them.
That would be right, because he's probably at this moment in time their most influential player, even when he's not playing particularly well. And I don't think he's had a particularly outstanding game today, Brian. He calms people down, he instructs, he drives, and he always puts the fear of God into some of the other midfield players that are playing against him.
And we understand from the bench over there that it's a hamstring problem for Graham Souness. Foster. Neal. It's Foster's ball. And without wishing to harp on the Graham Souness situation, if it's a hamstring, Ron, that could be a few weeks. And
hopefully, yeah.
Spoken as the Manchester United manager. But with the heavy programme they've got coming up, that could be a pretty uncomfortable situation for them.
Yeah, that's what happens when teams have a lot of games. There's probably a bit of wear and tear on them. I mean, he's had an awful lot of games recently on heavy pitches.
Connor. Wilson trying to get in. Terry Connor again, but he didn't find Penney. It was Kennedy getting it away. Throw given to Liverpool. About 8 minutes to go to half-time now. Brighton 0, Liverpool 0. Wilson away. Connor. Rush. Ball played by Rush for Robinson. And just pushed into the side netting by the left boot of Joe Corrigan. Good reaction there by the big man. 6'5" of him, but he got down, or at least was very leg conscious, and got that into the side netting.
Good piece of unorthodox goalkeeping, Brian.
Well, it's Craig Johnston with the throw, with the corner now for Liverpool. And Terry Connor getting it away. Danny Wilson now. Free kick brought down by Smillie.
Yeah, he's certainly taken over the Souness mantle at the moment.
Lee and Wilson having a good laugh with each other after that challenge. He's a great-hearted little player, Sammy Lee, and he's always ready to have a laugh during the course of a game. Good character and a good influence. There's Ronnie Whelan. And now Michael Robinson. Gatting's after him. Can he hold him? Played back for Phil Neal. In for Lee. And now for Kennedy. Onto that left foot, that's what he wanted to get. Rush now. Onto the right foot. Down goes Corrigan. Remembering, of course, that when we talk about the Liverpool side, Kenny Dalglish, of course, is still out injured. And here's Robinson. And again, Corrigan down well. Robinson, in fact, just pushed it a fraction too far ahead of himself with that last touch, and that gave Corrigan his chance. And he pounced superbly. That little moment there, and Corrigan spotted it well.
I should think Eric Young's probably liable to give Joe Corrigan a fair proportion of his wages for that. Made the cardinal error of centre-backs holding onto a ball when there's danger about.
The band round his forehead, incidentally, because he's got a bit of scar tissue up there. Same as Steve Foster, in fact. Talking about Liverpool without Kenny Dalglish, it's worth remembering, and of course, that Brighton are without Jimmy Case, who's suspended. Chris Hutchings. Now Danny Wilson trying to get a 1-2 going with Ryan, back again with Grobbelaar. Danny Wilson. Quite a nicely balanced cup tie at the moment, Tom.
Yeah, a good game, Ryan. Very enjoyable. A lot of pace, a lot of tempo, and a lot of commitment about it.
Young. Neal back for Lawrenson. Neal again. Just too high for Johnston. Young again behind him. Johnston. Now can Grealish get in there? Yes, but not firmly enough. But he did there. More than that, he's got a ball that might encourage Stephen Penney. No, Hansen's there. Now Kennedy. Stopped again by Young. They're holding him well, Brighton. They're getting in one or two little counter-attacks in their own right. And here's, whoa, Smillie just going past Neal there. And still going on. But couldn't quite get the cross in that he wanted, and it's a goal kick.
Brian, that's the sort of orthodox wing play I think Smiley's capable of. At the moment he's been playing a semi-midfield role, just containing, but now with Lee coming off the flank, you know, he may get a bit more space to go and run at Philip Neal, and you saw then the problems Neal can have when people run at him with the ball.
And I don't think that would have escaped the Brighton players, and it won't have escaped their manager, Chris Cattlin. We might see a little bit more of that. So it'll be a throw. Steve Gatting will take. I would think Chris Cattlin, the Brighton manager, will be fairly well pleased with the way his side are competing with Liverpool, but he knows they've got a bit of a problem now. Again, well competed for and won. Connor. Grealish. Didn't quite find Ryan with it. Hansen seeking out and finding Robinson. Played in again for Craig Johnston, but Foster.
Yes, you said that you must be very pleased with the way his team's playing. Certainly somebody like Grealish can be well pleased with his contribution.
Johnston, Rush, had a dumb it inside it, Grealish. And I think a free kick's been given, and an indirect free kick at that, to Liverpool. It's about 3 or 4 yards outside, and behind it we have Whelan, Kennedy, Nicol. Might be a little touch from Lee. They're looking for Philip Neal on the right-hand side in a lot of space. In fact, it's Whelan who drove it through the wall and beyond the goal for the goal kick. But a real genuine cup tie atmosphere here at the Goldstone, bathed in the most beautiful sunshine. Well, Lee's taken over the role of Souness. If you've just joined us with a couple of minutes to go to half-time, 0-0. Graham Souness off for Liverpool with a hamstring injury. And Brighton competing well in this cup tie. Penney played back again for Hutchings. Grealish. Gatting. A little flick on that time by Ryan, but safely back for Liverpool by Alan Hansen. Well, that's amazing. Rush appeared to have no right to get that ball, but he got it, played it back for Nicol, and played behind. But his acceleration there was exceptional, Ron.
Yeah, he's got tremendous pace, but I think in that particular instance, I think the fullback must have been sleeping in. I mean, Rush made too many yards on him for... Well, I think if he'd been fired out of a rocket, he wouldn't have caught him there. Fullback had got to be sleeping in there.
Coming towards the half-time whistle now, and Brighton, I would think, well contented at the moment. Ron, would you like to have a quick little sum-up?
Yes, I think Liverpool have been the better side, to be fair to them, but Brighton have competed well. They've played particularly well in midfield, where they've been outnumbered. Grealish and Wilson have played well, and they've shown when they've got forward that they can produce a chance or two.
Well, here's maybe the last chance of the first half as Foster plays it in towards Terry Connor. Grealish once more for Gatting. Smillie. And Phil Neal was quickly onto him, supported by Whelan. Grealish. Wilson. Getting it wide for Penney again. He looks a useful player, I must say. And in the end, it's Ronnie Whelan who plays it back for Grobbelaar. And played on for Rush. Is it going to be? No! What a remarkable moment. Corrigan superbly well to halt Rush in the first place. He got in superbly behind it. It cannoned off his knees, and then, well, it was saved again. That was an astonishing moment. Foster did really well right at the death when it looked as though Rush might just be able to get it in from that acute angle. Into time added on for stoppages. And still 0-0. As we come to half-time with so much to play for. And Steve Foster has kept Liverpool at bay, particularly in that last-ditch save right on half-time when Ian Rush looked as though he might give Liverpool the lead, which maybe their territorial advantage just about deserves. But you have to get the ball in the net, and neither side has yet done that. Welcome back to the Goldstone ground in Brighton. The half-time score in this FA Cup tie, Brighton 0, Liverpool 0. And a person missing from the Brighton side is the former Liverpool player Jimmy Case, of course.
Jim, a quick word on the first half from your point of view.
Well, I think both teams are doing quite well, but you know, there's a lot of chances going either way at this particular time, and I think we've still got a chance. Our performance.
We being Brighton, of course.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, I'm pleased the way the lads are playing, and it's just that we've got to keep going towards the end, and that's the main thing. The pitch is a little bit heavy, so that'll be okay.
Jim, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thanks to Jimmy. And Liverpool then will start the second half. Now attacking the goal to our left. And it's interesting looking at the number of fourth-round cup ties played yesterday, how many of them were decided in the last few minutes, and you get the impression that this game could well be building up into something quite special the longer it goes on. In fact, there's a slogan in the Brighton manager's office that simply says, "We can because we think we can." And I think that's the sort of attitude that is prevailing in this Brighton side at the moment. The longer it goes on with them holding Liverpool, the more obviously they're going to believe that they might, for the second successive year, produce something of a cup tie shock. And I just wonder what Chris Cattlin, a real good full-back with Huddersfield and with Coventry, and of course here with Brighton as well, I wonder what he said to his men at half-time. Well, here's Chris Hutchings. And Lee now for Liverpool. I would have thought he said, let's have more in the second half as to what we had in the first one, wouldn't you?
Yes, I think he'd have been reasonably satisfied. He may have told Smillie to push on a little bit, as we were saying at half-time. But I would think he would tell his team to stay disciplined. And if there's going to be one mad flurry, leave it till the last 10 minutes or so. There's a little bit going on in the middle of the park at the moment between Robinson and Young. A little bit of elbowing and so forth at the moment, Brian.
And away by Gatting. A throw over Liverpool. That's when they can get the ball back in amongst the Brighton crowd, and Craig Johnston will take it. And he's gone flagging on the far side for a foul throw, presumably, which means it now goes to Brighton. I don't know what Joe Corrigan thinks it's for. He can't believe it's a free kick, surely. No, it's Steve Gatting then with the throw now for Brighton. Smillie, Gatting, it's Hansen, played in for Lee. He slid the tackle of Danny Wilson. Alan Kennedy. Penney after him and dispossessing him, and it looked as though the pass was back on from Connor to Penney, but it didn't come. Now here's Penney. It's Hansen that he's deceived this time, and a good run by Hutchings. Has he got the pace? The linesman is flagging for the foul by Kennedy. It's going to be a free kick to Brighton. Now what can Brighton produce here? Good bit of pace down that right, which very nearly caught Liverpool out. Big men from the back again, Eric Young and Steve Foster. 2, 4, 6 Brighton men in the box. Ron, a quick point you want to make?
At the moment, Liverpool are leaving the near post completely on guard.
Now Kennedy, not a very good clearance. Grealish hustling to get it for Brighton, finds Hutchings, and for Grealish again. Wilson's available in the middle, here he is, played on again for Grealish. And now Whelan, but hits it straight at Hutchings, and back to Corrigan. Well, Big Joe had a slight calf muscle strain this week. He showed no signs of it with some excellent goalkeeping in the first half. Neal, Nicol, Rush, Phil Neal, trying to get it through to Robinson. Foster there first, good clearance, finds Penney. Deflection, in fact, took it nicely for Ryan, but now Hansen gets it back awkwardly and concedes the corner to Brighton. Well, if this leads to anything, Alan Hansen's going to be kicking himself.
I must admit, I always have a feeling about needless corners. They always worry me more as a manager than corners that are given away in the heat of defence.
Well, let's see. Grealish, Penney coming close to him. Foster and Young up again. Young making his run towards the near post. Grealish with the corner. Goes, hit low. And not a very good one. Robinson now for Liverpool, to Rush. Nicol, challenged by Wilson and by Grealish, but Nicol somehow beat them both. And now it's Penney, the 19-year-old, playing a ball in towards Terry Connor. Played on again for Jerry Ryan, and hit at Grobbelaar. Good move by Brighton, that's sliced the way through that Liverpool defence. Applause from Jerry Ryan and for Jerry Ryan. Robinson, Johnston. Well, Rush and Foster having a little tussle there in the friendliest way as the play goes on. Lee with the header. Hutchings to Penney. Really attacking him down the flanks now. But Nicol finding Kennedy. Long ball again. Craig Johnston's made a run from the back. Oh, it was Foster who hit it almost into the path of Rush. Foster, who might, indeed does, get Brighton out of a little spot there. With a pass back to Corrigan. I think he took a little knock on the right foot as he did so, and he's had a bit of Achilles tendon trouble. Hutchings. It's a good cup tie now. There's very little in it. Brighton are growing in confidence as Danny Wilson takes it on for Terry Connor. Ryan, Grealish, he's got Smillie outside him, shouting for the ball, and it didn't come. Johnston, really warming up now. Still 0-0. 6 minutes of the second half gone. Phil Neal, Whelan, who's on for Souness. Neal, Connor in first, Smillie, away down that wing. The crowd are behind him, and so too was Lawrenson at the expense of a corner. Good breaks down these flanks now, Ron.
Yes, I feel that with Smillie moving into that central position, Brian, it's opened up all sorts of avenues in wide positions now. Liverpool don't seem to have any real width in their midfield at the moment. And once again, you've seen when somebody runs at Philip Neal, how he can be exploited for pace, particularly without the protection of Smillie.
Grealish with the corner for Brighton. Neal away. Gatting. Played in again for Penney. Penney playing on for Gatting once more. Played in for Connor. And Lawrenson away again. Just two up for Brighton, but they're Robinson and Rush. Wilson getting back. And Robinson has shaken off Wilson. Here's support from Ronnie Whelan. And now here's Rush, unmarked. And a good save by Corrigan. What a dangerous thing to leave Rush with as much space as that.
Well, I think they got carried away in the general enthusiasm of it all, Brighton, and pushed everybody forward and left 2 men spare unmarked to Liverpool forwards, Rush and Robinson.
Well, a good shot there again. As Corrigan and Rush discussed that last moment. Liverpool's corner. Played short for Kennedy. And now for Neal. Driving from long range and a long way wide. No doubt that Brighton have really been motivated at half-time. They've really come out and have shown they mean business in this second half. And Samuel Nelson on the right and Chris Cattlin between them have done a good job at half-time. Connor. Smillie down that wing again. Might be running into a bit of trouble. Has he got the pace to get out of it? And Kennedy forced to play the short ball back to Grobbelaar. And Penney was close there, should there be the slightest mistake. Nicol now for Liverpool, one end to the other. Robinson. Oh, that was a mistimed challenge by Foster. Neal coming up from the back. Allowed to go a long, long way. And it looked like a little bit of obstruction there too, I thought, as Neal went in, but nothing given. The ball safely for Brighton with Joe Corrigan. Smillie. Young. Stopped by Neal. Comes Whelan. Oh, it's for Robinson. Foster couldn't stop him. And another brilliant save by Corrigan. Now for Johnston. Crossed in once more. Foster, the whistle has gone. Joe Corrigan's playing out of his skin. He's, what, 35 last May and still going strong.
I must confess, Brian, I don't think I've ever seen him play better. He seemed to fill the whole goal then. Even when Robinson was there, struck it well, it still didn't look as if he was ever going to be beaten. You see, he set himself up and he's very, very strong. It's a hell of a strong punch away as well.
Hansen versus Connor. Oh, Connor got it on, but Ryan couldn't get there. It's real nip and tuck. 0-0 with 11 minutes of the second half gone. A throw to Brighton. Gatting with it. He's enjoying the sunshine here, Steve Gatting. His brother Mike is probably enjoying more with MCC in New Zealand. A shot. Oh, just over the top from Nicol.
Well, the tempo certainly increased, hasn't it, Brian? Both sides going at it now, hammer and tongue. One of the dangers the Brighton team might have is if they try to push forward and throw bodies forward, they're going to leave space for the likes of Robinson and Rush to use their pace and exploit that.
And the crowd at the moment enjoying every moment of it. Grealish, one for Ryan, onside, played onside by Neal. Can he make it this time? He can! Johnny Ryan has put Brighton into the lead. 1-0. Liverpool looked to the linesman. They thought it was offside, but he was onside all right. And Chris Cattlin's team are in the lead 1-0. Jerry Ryan, 7th of the season. He scored at Anfield last season in that memorable cup win. And my word, he's done it again today. Out comes Grobbelaar, the little flick over the keeper into the back of the net. Now Ron.
Really superb goal. The only thing, I think there was a real question of it being offside, to be fair, Brian. I think, looking at it on the replay, I rather favour it may have been a shade offside. Lawrenson had a bit of a problem there. He didn't know whether to take his man out completely or just let Ryan go on in the hope he was going to miss. Now let's see whether Liverpool can hit back. Grealish away.
Can Brighton hold them now? Well, misunderstanding there between Nicol and Kennedy, and now corners through. Can this be true? It is! Unbelievable! Two goals in a matter of 2 minutes, and Liverpool are rocking. Well, they can't believe it, the Liverpool players.
They paid the penalty there. What Alan Hansen was doing there, heaven only knows. He tried to step up and play Connor offside before the ball had even been played through. I just cannot believe it. That for me was rank bad defending, but full credit to Connor. It's always been levelled against him that he's not the best finisher in the world, but nobody could have taken that better.
Well, rub your eyes and look at that. Brighton 2, Liverpool 0, 13 minutes of the second half gone. And here's Smillie. You should see the crowd down here now. And you should hear them. Hansen away. Smillie. Lee, the little touch. In goes Penney. But Nicol got it away. Rush is right up there. Robinson's up there. Johnston is joining him. Neal is outside him. And straight at Corrigan. Well, silence from the Liverpool fans at the moment. But they're a pretty resilient mob. And they'll be shouting their team on again, hoping that this game can still be pulled round. Well, a happy day at the moment in Brighton. Wilson. Oh, Kennedy missed that one. Here's Penney. Turning him, crossing him, and over for the corner off Ronnie Whelan.
Well, quite frankly, at the moment, Brian, Liverpool have lost an awful lot of their composure, and I wonder how much of that's due to the fact Souness has gone off. I think in that period prior to the goals, he'd have been calming, picking up loose balls, spraying it around. Now they look as if they're like a cat on a hot tin roof.
Smillie. Oh, crossing again, and Grobbelaar only just got a hand to it. Hansen got it away. Rush. And now Penney. And now Ryan. Connor's in the middle. So was Hansen. But the composure again wasn't quite there, and Liverpool concede another corner. And Grealish in the corner now for Brighton. And it's Penney who takes it, a very deep one towards Young. And Grobbelaar safely above his head. Whelan. And now Hansen. Neal. Johnston, and a foul on Smillie, giving Liverpool the free kick. Well, they think they're back on that cup trail that took them to Wembley last year, and a rather subdued Liverpool bench. But Lee and Kennedy, long-range shots. Falls though for Smillie. And a long ball, says to Terry Connor, chase that one. Hansen's lost it for the moment. Connor's on his way again. He tries to chip Grobbelaar, loses his boot in fact. So some quick running repairs for Terry Connor. And a quick reappraisal again for Liverpool. 2 down if you've just joined us. Astonishing cup tie turned up here with Brighton leading Liverpool by 2 goals to 0. And Young putting it away into touch. Total concentration needed now from Brighton, though, not to let anything slip, Ron.
That's right, the next 10 minutes are certainly going to be invaluable to them.
Long throw.
If they can keep a clean sheet in that period of time, I think they're more than halfway home. Although with Liverpool, of course, you can never count. Incidentally, Brian, I think you should take a plug if the score stays the same, shouldn't you? You're one of the few people in the stadium that fancied Brighton to win the game before it started.
I had a funny old gut feeling all day, actually, that it was going to be a good day for Brighton. And of course there'll be plenty of people here, if they can give themselves a moment, to remember that Brighton were 2 up in the league here last season against Liverpool, and Mr. Ian Rush then had a say in matters, and it finished 2-2. Well, Corrigan at the moment looks to be in pretty unbeatable form, and Brighton at the moment are jubilant. Wilson. Good ball. Here's Penney. Again, that ball hit towards Smillie, but it won't carry. Johnston. Finding Rush. Oh, and they nearly got one back there. They claimed the corner, or at least Robinson did, and he's got it. And there's a hush that develops in this Brighton crowd every time Liverpool come forward, fearful that there is still a bit of a sting left in this Liverpool side. 20 minutes gone, 25 to go, and Brighton leading 2-0. Corner for Liverpool. And headed off the line, but the whistle had gone. Chris Hutchings heading that one off the line, the number 2. A free kick to Brighton. Atmosphere as Nicol brings it forward again for Liverpool. Hutchings is there, safely back to Corrigan.
Very important for Brighton now, Brian, that they stick to doing what they've been doing all match, and that is trying to take the game to Liverpool. I think there's a natural tendency when teams are leading 2-0 to try and protect what they've got. And I think that could work against Brighton if they were to do that. I think they should just keep plugging away, pressurising people, trying to turn these 2 centre-backs.
Hansen. Kennedy. Here's Young. Now Lee. Neal. Getting into that old Liverpool rhythm again. They've got themselves together a little bit, it seems. Johnston. Oh, now Nicol. And it's Penney who in the end plays it away for the corner. Smillie taking that central midfield place from the injured Graham Souness has got to organise things around him and hope that Ian Rush can do something up front. Foster in bravely. Now Lee. Plenty of Brighton men are back behind the ball. Neal. And Lawrenson's touch wasn't a good one. Certainly Mark Lawrenson will regard this as an unhappy return to Brighton if they do get beaten. Jerry Ryan, the man on the left there, is the man who set it on its way with Brighton's first goal. Hansen, Lee. Real battle going to develop in the middle of the field now for supremacy. Long ball forward by Kennedy. Foster's there again for Brighton. And the ball just fractionally out of play. The linesman flagged. It's a throw to Liverpool. Must be something in this Sussex air, I think, for cup ties. The Brighton seem to get one good cup run after another, and the county cricket team down here seem to be doing the same thing in their various knockout competitions. Well, Brighton still have a little way to go yet. But 2-0 is a very comfortable and maybe an unexpected cushion. Whelan. Johnston's gone wide on the right. Lee demanding the ball in the middle. Neal. Lee again. Playing it around, but Brighton have pulled everybody back for the moment. Lee again. And Rush played wide again for Craig Johnston. And driven in across the face of that 6-yard area. It needed just the simplest touch to finish it off.
Yes, dangerous period for Brighton at the moment, Brian. Liverpool are coming forward, they're pushing, they're probing, they've got their patience back. I thought for a minute they were going to lose their patience and just try and throw things forward, which are playing to Brighton's hands. At the moment, they've got control of the game. Now it's very important that Brighton defend well and concentrate.
And they have 21 minutes to survive. Lawrenson. Johnston. And Gatting back to Corrigan. Lee. Neal. Craig Johnston. Neal. Challenged there for a moment by Grealish. Lawrenson. Here's Smillie. Oh, given away by Neal to Ryan. Grealish. Very tight, compact over in that corner, and a throw now to Brighton. Away goes Robinson. Young. And Gatting. And a throw to Liverpool. And Ron Greenwood, the former England manager, now a director of Brighton, I'm sure enjoying this moment. But wait a moment. Here's Danny Wilson. And Gatting away. Liverpool's throw. More pressure on Brighton. Phil Neal now with the throw. Grealish just nicking it out to Smillie, but Brighton just can't get it away at the moment. But here's Neal Smillie, stopped by Lawrenson, and now Craig Johnston. And now can Johnston whip that ball in? He can, but this time young Penney is there. Lawrenson, a nicely guided header here for Sammy Lee. A bit of space here now for Alan Kennedy, with Robinson outside him. But that chance may not be there anymore. Played instead to Lee, and now for Nicol. Just can't open up at the moment. Lee again, looking for that one final pass that might give the opening, and it's still not there for Liverpool. And Smillie, trying to run it away, and he could be running into trouble. He's got away well, but not for long. Lawrenson again, more pressure on Brighton. Johnston, Neal, Whelan's header, and away by Hutchings. But they've got so many people back that it's a short respite for Brighton. And a momentary breather there for Joe Corrigan, but here come Liverpool again with Hansen. If you've just joined us, This is some cup tie now, with Brighton leading Liverpool by 2-0. Smillie, but this should be Chris Hutchings. Back to Corrigan.
Corrigan's an important figure here, obviously, from his goalkeeping point of view, but also for his influence in calming people down, Brian. Times like this, when he's got it in his hands, I feel to rest the Liverpool attacks, he can push the whole of the Brighton side up the field and just try and drop a few long balls on top of their back four for a while, just to try and gain his team some sort of respite.
Well, not at the moment, because there's Kennedy putting it forward again, but Gatting. Foster took a little bit of a knock there, but I don't see him going off with the game the way it is at the moment. About 16 minutes left.
Jerry Ryan's limping me very badly, and I've noticed that Alan Young's been warming up for some little while, so there could be a replacement there, Brian.
Well, well, they may be a bit chilly up there, but I tell you, if they're Brighton supporters, Ron, they won't worry about the cold today, will they?
Well, not if it stays as it does for the next 20 minutes or so.
Smillie having a look at Tony Grealish. What a battle these two fellas are having in the middle of the field. And Chris Cattlin knows that there is still a good deal of football left in this tie, even though his Brighton side are leading 2-0. Hansen. Foster. Wilson. Ryan okay again. Grealish. And an offside, and it was offside that time, Connor, but play on, said the referee. So Grobbelaar playing as an extra fullback for the moment. Hutchings. Now that little touch by Ryan, but I think Lawrenson, yes, he'll be there first. It was interesting that Chris Cattlin was saying we need physical and mental strength to compete with Liverpool, and that's why we're banking on experience. And I'm sure that he's glad that he has. Rush with the header. Eric Young getting one away. Neal playing it in again. But now a chance for another break for Brighton with Steve Penney. Oh, cheeky little back heel, but I wasn't even sure that he meant that.
No, I don't think he did, to be fair, Brian.
Danny Wilson. Gatting. That's a fairly aimless ball, though, straight to Kennedy. Johnston. Rush. Whelan. And Rush again, a little chip, but this is going to be Corrigan once more. And 29 goals this season. And how the Liverpool fans would like to see him make it 31. Wilson. Penney. Offside there against Terry Connor. Looking at the work that Danny Wilson's doing in midfield for Brighton. He's having a pretty good, that's Connor, but Danny Wilson, the work he's doing in the midfield for Brighton is quite exceptional. He didn't really quite hit it off at Nottingham Forest somehow, but he's really doing a good job here. Saw him several times actually for Chesterfield in the 3rd Division. He used to dominate every game there. Now Connor off on his way again, but this time Liverpool held him off, and the flag has gone. Well, the flag is up and the whistle's gone.
I think there's a little bit of 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Connor was very, very unlucky, I felt, not to get through there. But going back to Danny Wilson, I think full marks to him and Grealish. They've battled really a two-man midfield, okay, albeit aided by the two wide players, but normally speaking, you'd say against Liverpool that's fatal. And yet they've worked, they've pressurised people, and still supported the attacks when they've had chance to.
Cry of seagulls going up around the Goldstone ground. think if the noise that we've had at the Goldstone today would frighten away a few of the local seagulls this afternoon, though. Nicol for Liverpool. Can they yet do it? With about 13 minutes remaining, a foul by Grealish. He ran across Nicol and he's going to be booked.
Little bit harsh, that, Brian.
I thought so.
Nicol came inside when it looks to all the world he was going to make a run down the wire.
Well, if they're going to get enough momentum together to get a second goal, they need the first one fairly quickly now, Liverpool. Alan Kennedy with the free kick for them. Plenty of people poised in there. And the header by Robinson that was well wide. I'll not be very pleased with that one. They came with a nice little bit of confidence building in this club. Not only have they lost only one of their last 7, they've won their last 3, Brighton, and Sammy Lee realises that these could be a crucial few last minutes now for Liverpool. Sammy Lee. On by Penney, Lawrenson, Hutchings, Lawrenson, and now Neal. Good ball there for Johnston. Played in again for Whelan, they let him go. And Nicol's trying to get in there, nicked away beautifully by Penney though. And he finds Smillie. Ryan. Grealish. Oh, a lot of space on the right here, and Grealish saw it, and he tried to reach Hutchings, but instead it's got Liverpool on their way with Ian Rush. Robinson. Oh, space here again now for Johnston. There's the shot, but it's a little too high. But it nicked off a Brighton defender. And so the referee, Brian Stevens, gives the corner. And it's the same referee, incidentally. So Jim Rosenthal tells me, who refereed the Bournemouth-Manchester United game, which I don't doubt that you wouldn't want to be reminded of, Ron.
Well, I was really enjoying the game up until then, Brian.
Foster getting up well and getting it away. Steve Nicol. That's a good ball for Craig Johnston. Still Liverpool putting pressure on Brighton. And Brighton leading by 2 goals to 0. Connor. Gatting. Penney. He's been a revelation this afternoon. He's worried both full-backs. And this fellow is also worried the full-back. And will do so again. Smillie. The cross comes in. And that was Hansen who got it away. Penney now driving it back in to the side netting. Goal kick. And that's really what Brighton need to do, to continue to put pressure now, at least to take a really positive approach and to come forward whenever they can to try and wrong foot Liverpool again. 19 years old, only his 11th game for Brighton since he came over from Northern Ireland, Stephen Penney. 19 years old. Ryan. Connor. But Kennedy with a little too much experience. Lee. Nicol. And Lee again. Johnston. Phil Neal. Cross in there once more, and it was Hutchings, in fact, after Foster hadn't quite got to it. He just glanced it away, but not very far. Here's Alan Kennedy again for Liverpool. Driven straight at Foster that time. Wilson, the little pass. Hutchings getting it away. Connor hoping to be first. Touching it off the hoped-for Penney. But a throw for Liverpool.
I should think Alan Hansen would be glad to see the back of Connor. He certainly pestered the daylights out of him today, Brian.
7 minutes left. Brighton 2, Liverpool 0. Johnston, Robinson. Grealish. The battle between those two, Connor and Hansen, and the free kick has been given to Brighton. The referee took a good long look at it. I think he thought it may have been 6 to 1, half dozen the other. In the end, he felt that Hansen was the offender. And Foster then over this Brighton free kick. A little over 5 minutes remaining. A lot of space here for Stephen Penney. Taking it again. So comfortable on the ball there, and a fair bit of pace to him. The header back to Grobbelaar. Robinson. Hustled by Young. Finds Johnston. Smillie coming back to help out, the number 8. Robinson away on that far touchline. Phil Neal. Time is running out for Liverpool. But with them, you never know. Lee. Whelan. Johnston. Nicked in once more towards Rush. And 3 Brighton defenders converged on that one to get it away. Hansen. Whelan. Rush. And Robinson between them. They're trying to work up some sort of angle. Eric Young battling and battling and battling to get it away, and finds Smillie. Stopped by Neal. Here come Liverpool again. Inside the last 5 minutes, Brighton leading 2-0. Craig Johnston. Might be a little too deep, but it comes off Hutchings for the corner. So can Corrigan and his men hold on to what they've won for the last 5 minutes of the game? Foster up above them all again. Penney with a chance to duck in and get it away, and Wilson happy just to belt it forward into that Liverpool half of the field. They're just about drained now, I think, Brighton. They've got very little more to offer, and Liverpool are still coming at them. Young. To Phil Neal. Back to Grobbelaar, who'll belt it forward. Neal. Lawrenson. Johnston. And that should be Corrigan's in the end. What, did it flick off the fullback? No, it didn't. It was a goal kick. Flags and the blue and white scarves and banners are all around the Goldstone ground, as you can see there. We're left with about 2.5 minutes, and Brighton 2-0 into the lead. Smillie running Phil Neal again, crossing it in off Hansen, or off Lawrenson rather. Goal kick. Ronnie Whelan. But Young wins that one ahead of Rush. Well, this is a giant cup upset in the making now, as Brighton battle on for these last 2 minutes with a lead of 2-0. And the Liverpudlians can scarcely believe it. And yet they experienced the same thing a year ago in the 5th round. And that was up at Anfield. Flag, a free kick to Brighton. There we see it. A little over a minute remaining now. And Liverpool seem to be able to win everything in sight except the FA Cup at the moment. The Brighton jinx has hit them again, unless something quite sensational can happen. And here's Rush. Corrigan's out. Red and whites going out of the ground, but they don't want to be here for the final ritual. It's been an unhappy return for Michael Robinson, and I don't think there'll be many in this ground who leave before the final whistle now. A quick comment before the final whistle from you, Ron?
Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's been a super game. I think Liverpool should take a lot of credit for the way they've kept the thing going. Obviously, it's a disappointment to them, but full marks to Brighton. They've played, they've competed, and they've also played against the offside trap very intelligently.
Here come Liverpool once more as Smillie is down and injured. Kennedy playing the ball in, but Foster and Young are there, and Corrigan, as ever, is there. Nicol and Rush, and Brighton are almost there. A winning tackle again by Grealish, but Ryan has got very little left in those legs to chase it. Grobbelaar's out, but it's a fairly despairing cause there, and he knows it, and that won't help either. So we've already played almost a minute of time added on. 2-0 to Brighton. Grealish playing it in again, and it'll be a goal kick. And the photographer's waiting to get a reaction from Chris Cattlin, I would think, at the final whistle. You'll see that in your favour tomorrow. And here's Penney. Not a very good clearance by Grobbelaar, and an offside flag against Ryan. The final whistle. Chris Cattlin, the Brighton manager, goes off after the goals by Jerry Ryan and Terry Connor bring about a massive FA Cup upset. Scenes of great jubilation here at the Goldstone ground in Brighton, usually so sedate, but a famous victory repeating the one at Anfield last year. They can't believe it, the Liverpool players, shell-shocked by those 2 goals in 2 minutes in the second half. And they'll be talking about this victory for a long